a little late. Tyler, get over here.
It's all true. That's all true.
Even though he doesn't remember the conversation in the car because he was asking about a movie that Rachel and Cody watched last night, and then he asked the same questions on the way home, so it was a little odd, but he was there and he's verifying the truth anyway. So we walked in the pitch black, we all got to our spots, predetermined spots, and Cody, he walked all over the place. I mean, he probably did 5 miles at least, maybe 7.
Maybe 9.
And so Cody's walking everywhere. I sat in one spot, moved to one other spot, came back. Tyler sat in one hog heaven, and he was there for, what, hour and a half?
Yep.
And then Tyler started walking. So we weren't having much luck. And then it was about 9 o'clock, I guess I heard a hog literally like kind of oinking behind me. So I went to investigate, never found him. So went back, sat down, we were all getting kind of discouraged. Tyler hadn't seen anything, Cody hadn't seen anything, I didn't see anything, but I'd heard one at least, so. And then it was what, 11:30?
Yep.
I could see Tyler, because we have smartphones, we can see each other on the Latitude app, so I could see he was starting to work his way out. I could see Cody was a little south of me. So I went and checked one other spot, and I was over there, and I was on my way back to where I'd been sitting most of the day. And I heard a shot, and so I immediately looked at my smartphone, and it was in the exact direction that Tyler was in. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he got one. So a couple minutes later, he like texts me back, or texts that he got one, and he thinks it's kind of small. So I'm like, yes, good job. So we're all like packing up, getting ready to go help him, okay? And so Cody and I are in 2 different areas. Cody takes a different path. I take one that's more kind of direct, but I don't have any roads, so I'm like literally just going through marshes and plowing through vegetation. And I can see that Cody beats me. And I tell Tyler, drag the hog out so you can get it on a road and find a nice tree that we can, hang it up to clean it and stuff. And so Tyler like hauls the hog. How far, Ty?
Like 400 yards.
400 yards. He has a drag rope.
And it turned out to be a lot bigger.
Yeah, that's right. Then he texted back, it's bigger than I thought. And so I've got the pack though, with all the cleaning gear in it, so I've got to get up there. So that was good news. Tyler had his, Tyler, tell us about your hog. What happened when you shot your hog and stuff? How did you know the hog was there?
Tell us everything.
From the beginning.
You probably heard it clanking.
Wait, before we go to that,
the oinking?
Tyler had been in one spot for a very long time, and I thought he was actually stalking a hog. So I was watching him, he was not moving much.
I decided to...
But it turns out he was watching YouTube videos on his phone.
I was killing time.
So Tyler,
I was watching the other guys hunt on YouTube. That's what I was doing. And it was motivating me, is what I like to think of it. But so I decided that I was going to start walking through the marshlands, like the wet stuff, because no hunters want to go that way. And I thought, okay, there's going to be less hunters there, plus there might be hogs. So I start just like circling all the marsh areas so that I don't have to go in the middle of it, but I can still like get the benefit of hunting it. And I come to the last marsh area that I decided to hunt for the day, and then I was just going to start heading out. And I start walking out because I really couldn't see anything in there, and I realized that I had walked into a marsh area to where I was going to have to get soaked in order to get out. Either that or I have to backtrack like half a mile in this marsh, and I didn't want to do that. So I decided to just come back, and I just relaxed for like 5 minutes, and I started to hear something inside the woods. So I was like, initially I was like, that's a person, that's a human, because it was loud. And then I waited for a couple more minutes, and I was like, okay, that's not a person, that's a hog, because it was small enough, and you can just tell, even though I didn't hear any sounds, that it was a hog. So I get my earplug, I put my earplug in, and I wait a little bit longer, and then it gets closer, and so then I take the safety off my shotgun, and it sort of walks out, and I can barely see that it's a hog, but I know it's a hog through like the brush. And so it starts turning to walk away from me, and I have to take a shot or else I'm going to lose it, and I can't follow it or else I'd make too much noise. So I shoot with what I got. I couldn't see hardly anything, and it turned out to be really good sized hog, like 165 pounds or something. So about my size, that's how much I weigh.
Wow.
So, so I dragged this thing out through the marsh, and so I got soaked, and it was soaked, and I just tied it around my stomach, and I just dragged it out, and so I drag it all the way to this one place where there's a lot of open land, and there's a tree and stuff, so we can hang it, we can clean it, and I told Dad and Cody that I got it, and so Cody says, "On my way, brother," or something like that, and so Cody gets to me before Dad does, and Cody sets up like a little tripod to sort of record, you know, the actual event and stuff, and he sets up a little place where he's sitting. So he was just sitting there, and he was kind of sad, I could tell, because he didn't get a hog, and so we're still waiting for Dad to come, and I can't start cleaning it without the equipment that Dad's got. So Dad's probably maybe 5 minutes out or 10 minutes. And we hear a shot, and so we hear this shot, and then
let me take it for a moment.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm like taking the direct route through all the palmettos and brush, and it's just because I didn't want to walk all the way over to get on the road and then cut back in. So I'm just like, I can see where they are, so I'm literally plowing through marshes, palmettos, everything. I'm just like, and all of a sudden, like 5-6 feet from me, there's a rustle in the palmettos, and I'm like making so much noise. I didn't sneak up on anything, okay? So anyway, then I look and there's a flash, a black flash, and I can see it's a hog, but then he's gone again. I mean, he didn't go anywhere, but visually I couldn't see him anymore. So I get my gun up and I'm ready, and I see another little black, and I fire blindly, basically. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I get lucky, maybe I just flush him out, maybe there's more than one. So, hog takes off. Just, all I see, I never see the hog again, but I see all the palmettos just shaking as he goes. And it's like, he's going right towards those guys. And I'm like 300 yards away from him. And so,
okay, so let me just back up here. So he fires, and we pretty much know that it's Dad, because we know his general location, and Cody says something along the lines of, what, you know, like there was a hog over there, like another hog, you know, and Cody's like, now it's like I got one and Dad got one, is what's going through Cody's mind.
And I was just shocked, like, because we were like cutting open a hog here right after he shot his. I'm like, every hog I thought would have been out of this area.
So I'm sitting there, you know, for a second, and I start to hear something, like in the woods, in between us and Dad. And I've already emptied my shotgun. There are no more shells in it. And so I look over at Cody, and Cody's sitting, you know, on his chair with his camera, and he's still kind of sad, you know, because now Dad got one and I got one.
And his camera's set up, and it's facing the tree that we're going to clean the hog on.
Yeah. So it's facing this, you know, this area where we're going to clean, and so I hear something in the woods, and I say, Cody, do you have any shells in your shotgun? You know, do you have any?
And then I like reached for my gun. I'm like, I don't even know. I haven't shot anything all day. Of course, there's shells in my shotgun, and so
I'm like, I hear something. Get your shotgun. You know, so he's like kind of moseying over to it. You know, still kind of sad. You know, and he picks up the shotgun, and then he starts to hear what I've been saying that I hear it. So he starts to, you know, get ready because it seems like it's coming in our direction. Sure enough, it came straight out where we had the camera set up.
We had like
right behind
5
the
yards
tree
until the tree line, in between us and the tree line. So I just see like palmettos start shaking, getting closer and closer to us. And I'm like holding the shotgun now. I'm like, is the safety on? I'm like trying to get everything situated. So I'm holding it there. And this is like 15 seconds after Dad's shot. So like, it was bizarre. Hearing Dad's shot, then kind of like moseying around, and it finally getting through the palmettos to us. And sure enough, like we're looking right at where, like I set up my chair and everything. It literally came right to us.
It was from us to Mary, pretty much. And once it saw that it was running straight to other people, it was freaked out again, and it did a 90-degree turn on a pin and just started running in that direction. And at this point, Cody's got the shotgun, he's aimed at it, and at first I thought it was going to come straight at us. I'm glad it turned and started running the other way. But so I always try to like protect my ears whenever these things are going off. So I'm immediately going like this, you know, and Cody's like aiming and trying to track it because it starts running this way. And so Cody fires the shotgun at the second that I got my hands on my ears, and we see this orange splat come right from the middle of it.
Could have left that up.
And he nailed it. He nailed it right on the side. And immediately, once he did that, me and Cody just burst into like celebration. Because it was just, it was like the coolest thing. Like we were just high-fiving for the next 5 minutes, like hugging each other and stuff, and it felt like we just won some really big award. And when I had gotten my hog just 20 minutes, 30 minutes earlier, I didn't really even care. But there was something about just the fact that Dad shot and it was running through the woods and it was coming right at us and everything happened so fast.
I remember just screaming.
Got it.
And here I am, 300 yards away. I hear a shot, and I'm like, no, they actually saw it. And then I hear them just cheering and just going crazy. And I go, no, there's no way they really got him. They just saw him, they got a shot off, and something funny happened, you know. Probably fell as he crossed the road or something, you know. And so then I keep going through the brush. I'm working my way up there, and I finally get up to where I can see him, and Tyler's got this big grin on his face. I'm like, well, yeah, you got a hog today. He's all happy, and there's Cody, and he's just kind of standing there.
I was in shock for like 10 minutes afterwards.
And then I get up there and I hear the story, and Cody was the one that got him.
And he didn't know we got the hog. He came out of the woods and he sort of looked at us, and then he looked over to the side and he saw this other hog laying over on the side right there, and then he started piecing it together. But it was crazy.
So what happened to the hog you shot at, Jay?
It ran up to Cody, and Cody got him.
But you didn't get him when
No.
you shot him?
I was just kind of, I knew he was right somewhere there, and I just kind of shot him.
So what was the big poop of orange?
Yeah, what was that?
It's gut size.
Orange? It's not red?
Yeah, that's why that's my thought too. I was like, why wouldn't it be red? But it was just orange.
So you just spooked the hog right towards Cody.
And we, on the way home too, we started talking about it. It was kind of neat because all of us played like a key part in the whole process of getting the second hog. First I like spooked it and drove it up to him. Tyler like coached Cody because Cody was just kind of like, you know.
Cody assumed that Dad got the hog and it was done. And I was like, I don't have any shells in my gun, you know. So I was encouraging Cody. He actually picked up the gun, whereas otherwise he would have even got out.
Because I didn't even hear anything moving until it was 20 yards away.
It was a team effort for that second hog.
And Tyler actually picked the tree out where the trail was going to come out for this hog. So he positioned.
Like,
It felt right. That was a good feeling tree.
If you were 300 yards behind it, that hog must have been going fast.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it was just like the palmetto.
no, it couldn't be moving any faster, running towards us, and then darting opposite. It was.
He had
The
no
thing that made it
clue.
so bizarre was that Dad, just imagine just like hundreds of yards of palmettos, you know, just.
Oh yeah, did we,
me
okay, we
to
didn't turn
him.
the camera on?
That would have been hysterical.
The camera wasn't on?
The camera wasn't on. The camera was perfectly positioned. Perfect, and the camera wasn't on.
Because I had the camera set up for when we gutted it, to like put it on the tree.
Say what?
And it came out right in the woods there.
He just had the camera sitting on the tripod.
He had a video camera.
Yeah, but he just didn't press it.
Oh, that was so great.
I know, I wish I did.